Hello everyone, my name's X and we are back with another Halo news video. This one, it doesn't really even seem like it's Halo news, but I guess I'm gonna have to make it into that because that's kind of what it is in some ways. But you know, let's get started with this because I see a lot of people talking about this and making exaggerations, including one person's video kind of already claiming that this is going to be a thing when it's not, and that is that recently there was claims by a bunch of fans and some particular YouTubers, I'm not giving names out here, but we all know who they are, claiming that the recent departure with Bungie and Activision, that Bungie's going to be coming back to make Halo games with Microsoft, and is in the talks about that happening.
That's not going to happen.
Let me tell you right now, that is not going to happen. That's not at all going to go down. Let me, just go ahead and crush your dreams right here.
It's unbelievable, the condition of both men, but the Russian champion.
I must break you.
There are a bunch of reasons why Bungie would definitely be not considering coming back to the Halo franchise, and I'm gonna just start listing them out here. There's again a bunch of them, but I'm only gonna list out the three major ones that are obvious that I guess some people have forgotten over time, but let's get into it. Number one, 343 is the designated developers working on Halo's titles. Bungie split into two after Halo Reach, with Bungie going off to do their own series that they wanted to start, their own IP, and the rest of the team that stayed formed 343, which worked on Halo games going on forward. So Bungie stated in old interviews way back, God, it's so long since those interviews, that they stated that they wanted to move to newer and better things and wanted to, leave Halo where it was. In fact, I remember some of the claims back then that Bungie wanted to just leave the Halo series as Halo 3, and they already announced that they were not going to make any games moving forward, and then they kind of, I guess, misspoke when they did that. I can't find that interview, but I remember very well. But I guess, with time, certain interviews get lost or they get taken down because nothing lasts on the internet apparently. But the interview, stated where they were kind of like considering just leaving it at that. They just said we're not going to make any Halo games going forward, and then when they announced Halo ODST and then into Halo Reach, they're asking like, what the heck? Why all of a sudden did you go back on that? And they said, oh, we said going forward, we never said going backwards into making things prior to Halo 3. So there was that. I guess that was either possibly their scapegoat answer because they kind of announced too soon because they thought Microsoft would actually support their decision to start their new IP they wanted to start, and turned out that was not the case. So yeah, that's a big thing there, that they just were not planning to make any more Halo games, and they wanted to make new things, and so they gave over the rights to Microsoft, which leads me to number two. Bungie is still focused on making and finishing the Destiny series. They aren't going to just abandon the entire series, something that they, intentionally worked so hard for, to go back to something that they left behind for good reason. They were over it, and a lot of things, like the fact is they kind of started complicating the story near the end. Everything started getting really complicated, and that's where like 343 had to come in and fix all the plot holes and a bunch of other issues, and they kind of really left the community on a really bad note when they left. I don't think they want to consider coming back. I mean, a lot of the conversations when people are bringing this up, some people saying like they can't wait to have Bungie Halo games again, and other people are not too kind in saying that they just don't want to see Bungie coming back at all when it comes to Halo. Some people saying that Bungie's not the same Bungie that used to be around and all these things, and I don't necessarily think that's true. I think Bungie could still actually make good Halo games. They were literally held back because of Activision, but the thing is that Bungie just doesn't want that. It's clear in their direction how they've been focused. They don't even have the remote consideration of going back to that series at all. So yeah, let's just end it there with the fact is they left it off a bad note. They had no interest coming back. They wanted to finish off the Destiny series, and that's pretty much their main focus, is continuing on with the direction of finishing off the Destiny series, which leads me to number three. Bungie will not work along with Microsoft very well. That's the thing. The whole reason why they left was because Microsoft had so much control over all the stuff that they were doing, telling them, nope, you're going to keep making Halo games. All we want you to do is make Halo games. Screw this little Destiny series IP you wanted to make. You're going to make Halo games. You're going to keep making more Halo games and more Halo games. They're like, yeah, when our contract runs out, we're going to be done with you guys. That's kind of giving a very short version of it, but basically they were already getting hyped up on wanting to start the new series, and they even put Easter eggs like in ODST referencing the Destiny series that they were considering doing that, and then all of a sudden they just, it looks like it wasn't going to happen, and it's just like they kept thinking that they were going to finally get the move on, and I guess it came down to understanding that Microsoft said, no, you're just going to keep making Halo series for us. It's our we need to keep milking it. It's our bread and butter right there. We're just going to keep milking that series dry. And Bungie was like, yeah, well, we're kind of running out of creativity with it. We want to try something else, something new, something refreshing. So that's the thing. They left the Halo series because Microsoft wanted to have them keep pumping out Halo games and denied Bungie to do anything new. And they wanted they went to Activision because they saw the most popular and most well-respected development company at the time that made one of the biggest franchises of all time in history, the really popular gaming series, and they needed a new publisher, and Activision just saw this as the best time to take advantage of it and said, yeah, we'll take you in and we will fund the hell out of you guys. And then, yeah, it pretty much became a microtransaction absolute mess and whatnot. The game was just absolutely disastrous. I mean, I remember when I was getting all hyped for it, and then it turned out, like, I remember when they first talked about Destiny, there was like things like talking about how that it would be one game that they would update for several years, and then that didn't happen. Then they tried to make Destiny 2 and all these kind of things, and when it turned out, like, they were talking about how much that the game was being funded, like it was the most funded game, and they were talking about like it was like $1 billion funding or whatnot, or 100 billion or something like that. I don't even know the numbers. It was getting ridiculous. But when it turned out that only about a quarter of all the funding actually was going into the game, and the rest of it was entirely marketing. So it wasn't as grand as everyone was claiming that the game was getting funded for. And when that game came out, when I got on that game, it was like bare bones. And I'm still trying to sell the game. I am still trying to sell it. I bought it for $60 and I'm trying to sell it, and now I got it down to like $4 and just no one wants to buy it. And I haven't even gone to GameStop that's going out of business. I'm not even sure if they'll even give me $1 for it.
Oh, you almost had it. You gotta be quicker than that.
So the fact of the matter is that Bungie did not leave Microsoft to go to Activision to have them, be controlling, and then leave them because they're ruining their franchise, and then go back to Microsoft to make Halo games. That just makes almost no logical sense. They're not going back to doing that. It's just clear that everything that's gone on since very beginning, if you've been someone who's played the Halo games when Bungie was around, all the controversies that happened around near the end of it.
Pepperidge Farm remembers.
And that it's not coming back. They're not going to do that. So just because they're in talks with Xbox, which aka Microsoft, I love how they keep saying Xbox in order to avoid saying Microsoft, that Bungie is in talks with Microsoft. It's just, no, it's not going to go down that way. Basically, if anything, Microsoft wants to take this opportunity to get them back, but they're going to say, here's the thing. If I come back, these are going to be the rules. So if anything, they're going to set down the ground rules of what they're going to want. And what they're going to want is they're going to want to finish off the Destiny series. They have no interest in working on the Halo IP. I highly doubt in the far future when they finally finish off the Destiny series that they will do that, or they might just go off and do another IP. I don't think they have any interest. I know Microsoft, has that host because they know that there's a lot of gullible people out there that'll say, oh, I'll definitely buy it if it's made by Bungie. And the fact of the matter is that not everyone is happy about it. I mean, again, if you're someone who's around back in the day and you remember Halo Reach and you remember everything that went down between the transition over to from Bungie to 343 Industries, you remember some of the stuff. I remember one of the things was they pushed an update that they're not going to say they intentionally did it, but I feel like they did to get back at Microsoft, where they pushed an update where in all the matchmaking games, if you team killed, you would not get booted. There would be no booting against you, so you could go around and kill your teammates all day you wanted and nothing would happen. And I noticed that a lot of people in Infection on Sword Base, they would intentionally kill each other when they're like, hey dude, I'm running low on ammo, you mind killing me? And they would kill them and then respawn back, because any friendly fire kills would actually just not count against you, and you wouldn't respawn back as a zombie, so you just come back with more ammo. And they would just keep doing this over and over and over. So yeah, there was that. And then there was a lot of when Destiny came out, there was a lot of like code base like zoo errors that were happening, but a lot of them happened on the Xbox the most. And the funny part is every time I could prove that it was not the game, not my Xbox or anything, it was the game that was causing it, they would kept saying, no, it looks like Microsoft, it looks like the Xbox is the issue here. And when they kept making statements, they were like kind of like blaming Xbox for why that there's only all these issues with it. It's like, yeah, I think it's just, Xbox, Microsoft doesn't seem to really care about their product and whatnot, pretty much kind of implying that. They didn't obviously say it right off the bat, but they kept trying to do that whenever I kept complaining about the zoo attack errors that would happen. And I was proving that none of my other games are being affected, it's just Destiny. And yeah, I'm pretty over that series. I didn't even bother with Destiny 2. I was over it. The second, I can't remember what it was, the Council Elder firefight mode. I mean, they have the things that they want to keep, continuing on, like PvE wave modes and stuff like that into, Destiny. They did have, certain things that they did very well that they liked and kept going on with it, but they're over Halo. Anyways, I'm going to wrap this up. It's already 10 minutes, and I have no interest in making this a long video. I was hoping to go for 5. I might have got a little overboard. But Bungie's basically that kind of girl that that you really loved her, she was amazing, and then she's gone and she left you for someone else, and then she goes, oh, I'm back, I miss you so much, and then but she wants to set all the ground rules. Yeah, that's pretty much what's going on here. So don't try and expect that something huge is gonna happen, because I'm gonna tell you right off the bat, that's not gonna happen.
Get over your dead parents already.
But again, yeah, the talks and whatnot are just, it's going to come down to they want to have Destiny, they want Microsoft to support it, and that they want to have all the ground rules of like, we get to do whatever we want, we get to market the way we want, and so forth. They don't want anything else involved in there. They didn't leave Activision to go back to Microsoft to make Halo games. It's just plain and simple. They left Halo off on a bad note, and they're probably not going to come back. And, anyways, I'm just gonna wrap it up here. It's I think I made my statement here loud and clear at this point. Bungie is not coming back. I don't know why everyone thinks that Bungie's gonna come back to Halo games. It's just not gonna happen. It may be like a very small chance in the very far future, but it's clear that with why they even left was so that they could actually be able to control Destiny and control its marketing without interference like Activision did that ruined it for them, and lost their reputation. So the fact of the matter is that when it comes down to it, they're gonna still stick with that Destiny, and they're not probably gonna consider coming back ever. So all this stuff, all the speculation, it's no point. Just right here, I gave you the three main reasons, not positive, the 3 main reasons that are most likely the facts that Bungie's just not coming back, you guys. It's gonna be 3 for 3, and let's just leave it that way and stop trying to argue that Microsoft needs to make Bungie make Halo games. It's not gonna happen.
Heresy! Remove this filth!
So anyways, that's it. I'm gonna leave this off here. You can all rate, comment, subscribe, write down what you think, and I'll let you guys go, and you take care. Bye.